Hey class, welcome. This is Mr. Giancarlo with What's Up with Giancarlo. So we're going to be going over 5.3 and then 5.4 in this video also. Um, so to start off, it's writing two-step equations. Okay, we're going over one-step equations, solving them and everything. One-step equations with rational coefficients. This is like that, but there's just one more step. You go from 1 to 2 steps. Okay. So I'm not a big fan of the models. I don't use them in the class. If you come up to a model problem in the homework, just say forget about it. Okay? Or try and figure it out on your own. It's not very hard. If you guys want to pause and just look it over. All right? Okay, writing two-step equations. This is where we're getting started. You can write two-step equations to represent real-world problems by translating the words of the problems into numbers, variables, and operations. Class, they're going to give you a word problem, and you're going to have to decipher the word problem and make it into an equation, okay? Example 1, a one-year membership to Metro Gym costs $460. The whole entire thing costs $460, so we know it's going to equal $460, okay? There is a fee of $40 when you join, and the rest is paid monthly. So $40 when you first sign up, that is a one-time fee. Now we are adding that to however much, we don't know how much we're paying, but we know we are paying for 12 months. It is monthly. There are 12 months in a year. Do you see what I'm getting at? So it's gonna equal 460 because a one-year membership to Metro Gym costs $460. It's gonna equal 460. There is a fee of $40, a one-time fee. It's a fee of $40. You're not multiplying that by anything. That is just the one-time joining fee. You pay that at the very start. Then each month you are gonna pay them a certain amount of money. There are 12 months in the year. Okay? So that is all they need. 40 plus 12 times the monthly cost equals 460. That is this whole lesson. That is it. Okay? Just taking a word problem and turning it into an equation. Can you rewrite the equation in the form 52m equals 460? So what they did, we have 12x. Well, they use m, but I like x, so I'll use m so I don't confuse anybody. So they use equals 460. They're saying, can you add these together to make 52m? Class, you should know this by now, but if you do not know this, no, you cannot do that. These two terms are not like terms. That is why I underlined this one and circled this one. They're two different terms. This term has a variable. This term is a constant. You cannot combine them because they are not like terms. You can only combine like terms. Okay? You cannot make it 52m. Let's see what they say. No, you cannot combine 40 and 12m because they are not like terms. Boom, class. Boom. I didn't even read it before doing this. I had no clue that was the answer. I just basically said that word for word because bada bing, bada boom. All right, let's move on. Your turn, okay? Please pause the video now and work it out on your own, okay? 3, 2, 1. Let's go over this. All right. Billy has a gift card with a $150 balance. He buys several video games that cost $35 each. After the purchases, his gift card balance is $45. Write an equation to help find out how many video games Billy bought. Class, whenever you see the word is, that means equals. So we know it equals $45. $45, okay? So if he starts off with 150 and then each game is $35 each, and then it ends up being 45, we are going to subtract. So it's 150 minus 35x, because 35 times each game will give us a certain amount that you will subtract from 150 to get 45. All right? Let X represent the number of video games Billy purchased. Original balance on gift card, 150. Cost for X video games, 35 times X, 35X. Final balance on gift card, $45. Original balance minus 35 times number of games equals 45. All right? Writing a verbal description of a two-step equation. All right. You can also write a verbal description to fit a two-step equation. I don't see this being on any FSA. I don't see this being on our test. You guys don't need to worry about it. If it's on my HRW, skip it. Okay? Write a real world problem that can be represented by 10 times x plus 40 equals 100. Okay? So I bought a bunch of shirts that cost $10, and I bought a pair of shoes that cost $40. I ended up spending $100. The total amount that I spent is $100. Okay? So 10 times the amount of shirts that I bought plus the pair of shoes that was $40 equals 100. Okay? Simple as that. Will vary, but the best answers will involve Matt Kenseth and the number 20 car. Mr. Tomich probably helped make these or whatever, and he really likes NASCAR, so that's where we got that, I guess. That is the end of this lesson. Okay? Moving on to 6.4. Solving two-step equations. All right. This is a little tougher, class. Starts off with models. I don't like models. I don't like it. But the way they're showing it, 3n plus 2. So we take these two, and we take two of these, and we get rid of them. So now we have 3 big tiles and 9 small tiles, okay? So one matches up, one matches up with 3, one matches up with 3, one matches up with 3. So each one counts as 3. So n equals 3. Don't even bother. I don't even know why I went over it, but I just to show you, if you picked up on that, perfect. Okay? But I'm gonna go over it the good way. Use algebra tiles to model and solve each equation. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Class, this is the algebraic way and the correct way, the good way to solve two-step equations, okay? Solving two-step equations. You can use inverse operations to solve equations with more than one operation. Class, what they're telling me right here, I can use inverse operations. I can do the opposite of what I see to get my answers. You must do the opposite of what you see to get the answer, okay? Example 2, a dog sled driver added more gear to the sled, doubling its weight, okay? This felt too heavy, so the driver removed 20 pounds to reach the final weight of 180 pounds. So, sled driver doubled the weight. So 2x, doubled the amount of x, but it was too much, so he took off 20, minus 20, and the final weight equals 180. So class, this is my equation. I need the variable by itself. Therefore, I need to get rid of whatever's next to it. Okay, this first, the constant first. So since I see minus, I have to do the opposite and I have to add 20. And since I'm just going to draw a line to separate the sides, since I did it to the left side, I have to do it to the right side. Okay? So now I have 2x equals 180 plus 20 is 200. I have multiplication. Okay? I have multiplication. So the opposite is dividing. I divide by the number in front of the variable to get the variable all by itself. 2 divided by 2 is 1, which is imaginary, and then x all by itself. Now, since I did it to the left side, I must do it to the right side. So 200 divided by 2 is 100. So the amount of the sled before doing anything to it is 100. The sled's original weight was 100 pounds. Okay? If you had a tough time, rewind that and watch it again, and maybe it'll help you figure it out. If you have any problems, please send me an email or talk to me in class about it. Or you can write a comment and I'll answer it. So, the Wilsons have triplets and another child who is 10 years old. The sum of the ages of their children is 37. How old are the triplets? Class, I've got triplets. They are all the same age. So that is 3x. And then they also have another child who is 10 years old. So plus 10 equals 37. Okay? So I have to get rid of this 10 because I need my variable by itself. I take away that 10, I take away that 10. I'm going to put it over here. So I get 3x because the positive 10 and the minus 10 cancel each other out. And then 37 minus 10 is 27. I need the variable by itself. This is multiplication. I have to divide because that is the opposite. 27 divided by 3, I get the 3 divided by 3 is 1, so it's 1x or just x. And then 27 divided by 3 is 9. So the triplets are 9 years old. Okay? You must pause and do this on your own. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Okay. 5 less than the quotient of a number and 40 and a number and 4 is 15. What is the number? So class, 5 less means I have my my number or my variable and number or whatever, and then I'm going to subtract 5 from it. So I'm going to get the quotient of a number and 4. The quotient, that means division. So a number goes on top because it's mentioned first. So x over 4, and then 5 less than that. So minus 5 equals 15. All right? So my variable is in division with 4. So I have to get rid of this constant. I need this alone. So since it is subtraction, I must add 5 to both sides. So I get x divided by 4 equals 20. So since this is division, I must do the opposite and I must multiply by 4, by the number. 4 times x is 4x divided by 4 is 1x. Or I can cross out the 4s and make them both 1s. Then it's just x by itself. And since I did it to the left side, I must do it to the right side. 20 times 4 is 80. Okay? Bada bing, bada boom. I did it correctly. That is how you solve it and work it out. Next part of the lesson. Two-step equations with negative numbers. Many real-world quantities such as altitude or temperature involve negative numbers. You solve equations with negative numbers just as you did equations with positive numbers. Okay? You do it the same way. So, to convert a temperature from degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius, first subtract 32, then multiply the result by 5/9. And an outdoor thermometer showed a temperature of negative 10 degrees Celsius. What was the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit? So, class, they show you a way of doing it where you get rid of the 5/9, okay? So I personally like this way. This is how you have to solve it. Okay, this is what it's called. Oof. This is called a formula. Okay, you are trying. You're trying to find it in Fahrenheit. Okay, so this is C equals 5/9 F minus 32. All right. This is a formula, class. This is how it works every single time. Okay? If you're trying to find something in Celsius, they'll give you the degrees in Fahrenheit, and then this is the exact formula that you use. If they give you something in Celsius, you will put the Celsius degrees right here, and then you will solve it. So it will be the same thing all the time. They gave me Celsius, so I'm replacing this C with a negative 10, and then they tell me to use this F. They tell me to use an X instead of the F. All right? So what they're telling me to do is to multiply by 9/5, which will get rid of this. So multiply the entire thing by 9/5. Class, this 9/5 cancels out the 5/9. And since this x minus 32 is in parentheses, it's safe. Okay? So we get x minus 32 equals 9 times 10 is 90. It's negative, so negative 90 divided by 5. So that ends up equaling negative 18. Okay? Remember, this negative 10 is over a 1, so I'd multiply the tops and the bottoms, and then I'm going to divide to get my whole number. So now I'm going to write this without the parentheses. So now I need x by itself. So I'm going to, since this is subtraction, I'm going to add 32 to this side. Okay? And when I do that, I get 14 equals x. All right? 14 equals x. So negative 10 degrees Celsius is 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? This is a little tricky. Rewind and watch it over if you have any problems. Or write in the comments or send me an email. Okay? An airplane flies at an altitude of 38,000 feet As it nears the airport, the plane begins to descend at a rate of 600 feet per minute. At this rate, how many minutes will the plane take to descend to 18,800 feet? So it's the airplane flies at an altitude of 38,000. Okay, we're descending, so it's minus 600 feet per minute So per minute m minus 600 m, and then how many minutes will the plane take to descend to 18,800? So this is our equation. This is positive, so we are going to have to subtract because the opposite of positive is negative, so we're subtracting. So we are subtracting 38,000 from 18,800. We end up with negative 19,200, and we're left with negative 600 m on this side. So we are going to divide, since this is multiplication, by negative 600. Whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other. Okay? So negative 19,200 divided by negative 600 is positive 32. The plane will take 32 minutes to descend to 18,800 feet from 38,000 feet if you're going 600 feet per minute. Okay? So what is the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit of a freezer at negative 20 degrees Celsius? Pause it and then work on your own. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Unpause. So they give you it in Celsius, so it goes over here. You work it out. So this is, I'm not a big fan of this way. So they do I'm going to multiply everything by 9 over 5. Negative 20 equals 5 over 9 x minus 32. And then, all right. So when I do this, I'm only, the 9 over 5 times 5 over 9 cancels out. So I'm just going to have x minus 32 on this side equals 9 times 20. 9 times 20 is 180 divided by 5 is 36. It is a negative 36 because the negative 20. So now I need x by itself. So I'm going to add 32 to both sides. I am left with negative 4 equals x. Okay? So when it is negative 20 degrees Celsius, it is negative 4 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? That is how you work that out. Any questions? You already know what to do. Jenny earned 92 of a possible 120 points on a test. She lost 4 points for each incorrect answer. How many incorrect answers did she have? So, possible 120 points. She lost points. She lost 4 points for each question, so minus 4 points for however many she got wrong. And then she got a 92. Okay? So, we need the variable by itself. We need the variable by itself. So I need to get rid of this. It is positive, so I'm going to have to subtract it. So 120 minus 92. You get your calculators out, whatever. Cross that out. Make that 12, but it's really an 11 because that's a 10. 8, 2, 28. Boom. All right. So I get negative 4x equals negative 28. The bigger number was negative. So I need the variable by itself. This is multiplication. I will have to divide. Since I did it to the left side, I must do it to the right side. So after everything is done, negative divided by negative makes a positive, and 28 divided by 4 is 7. So Jenny got 7 questions wrong. She had 7 incorrect answers on her test. Okay? That is it. If you have any problems, type to me in the comments. If you like the video, go ahead and like it. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And like everybody knows that's watched my videos before, if you're watching, you're a part of the class. Have a nice day.